Okay. So friends, on behalf of Goa Export Group, it was just a casual talk between Praveen Kakode and Mr. Rajkumar Kamath and myself to on behalf where we can really excel some exports or maybe the knowledge sharing between our exporters from Goa and to form up this group in the name of Goa Exports Group. So as that particular initiative, this is we had made a WhatsApp group and invited many of you. We are almost hundred of in the group, and based on the suggestions which we collected from the Google form, we had a lot of inquiries where the basics of exports and all can be highlighted and we taught about. So with this initiative, I've invited Dr. Jagat Shah today, and I would now like request our Rajkumar Kamath, President of Vibrant Goa, to kindly come speech, please.
Yeah, thank you, Arman. Thank you very much. A very warm welcome to you on an equally warm day here in Goa to Jagat Bhai and of course the entire Goa Exports Group. I would like to thank Praveen for suggesting this idea of forming a group of people who are keen in exporting. So that we are in a position to identify way forward. We are in a position to do things as a group. Uh, because in 2019, when Vibrant Goa happened, okay, the whole idea was business beyond borders. And uh, after the summit, there were people who followed through and got into some amount of export inquiries, actual export orders. Uh, but then the COVID came in, and suddenly things came to a standstill. So we thought it's time that we revive the main objective of the whole thing, and that is uh, encouraging people to get into the overseas or the export market. So to start with, this Goa Export Group has been formed, where the whole idea is that we come together, we so that we are in a position to share resources and achieve the objective of exporting goods overseas. Today, India is well placed compared to any other time to actually get into overseas markets. And this is an opportunity I think none of us should miss upon. I would like to thank Arman, Praveen for tirelessly working for this, besides being helped by Colin, Mayuri, and so many others. Thank you very much for bringing this group together. The idea is to move forward. So I would like to welcome you all once again, and a very warm welcome to the speaker of the day, our own Dr. Jagat Bhai. Over to you, Arman.
Thank you.
Thank you. And now I would request Praveen Kakode, the brainchild beyond this whole group, to share the objective for this group. Praveen?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, Praveen.
Yeah, good evening. Thank you, Arman Bhai. Thank you, Rajkumar ji. I have successfully failed at exporting for the last 1.5 years after doing my course with Jagat Bhai. And I was thinking what I have to do now. And when I looked around, there were a lot of other people who were doing the same thing. And then there is one very famous saying in Konkani, which says, Apun apnak and Dev samajta, which means you have to help yourself. For the rest, there is God. So the government is there are bodies, but amongst us also, there are a lot of people who have more knowledge, who are capable, who have been there, done it, and are more than keen to lend a helping hand. Because in the last 1 month that we are working, I have reached out to a couple of people who are more than willing to lend a helping hand. So what we thought was this is a time where the whole political scene globally is changing. China is being looked down upon. This is India's biggest opportunity. And if we come, Goa itself, our economy is affected by COVID. Mining is gone. Tourism is affected. So one of the biggest hope I see, one of the biggest hope I see is export is something which can earn revenue for the economy. So the idea is this is an open-ended group where people can suggest what they want and whoever knows can contribute. So if we help each other, I think all of us will progress very well. That is a basic this. It is not a group which belongs to me or Arman Bhai or Rajkumar ji. It belongs to all the people who are participating. And I think if we own the group, all of us will progress. Thank you.
Thank you, Praveen, for the great objective and insight for forming up this group. Friends, now I would not like to take much of the time, and I would now like to introduce our speaker for the day, Dr. Jagat Shah. And Dr. Jagat Shah does not much require. He is a very familiar name for Goa now. He has been chief mentor for Vibrant Goa. His philosophy has been action at the speed of thought. And he is a PhD in international business in Diamond Technologist, is certified as cluster development expert by UNIDO, and is certified management consultant from ICMSCI USA. He is based in Ahmedabad. He has worked as Trade and Investment Commissioner of Government of Manitoba, Canada for 9 years in India. He has worked on trade and investment related projects with USA Department of Commerce, Government of Brunei, Senegal, Oman, World Bank, United Nations, several ministries of Government of India, many companies in corporate and SMEs in private sectors. Under this mentor on-road project, he drives around India, USA, Africa, and around the world to mentor youth, startup, and women-owned businesses. He has driven 6 lakhs kilometers in 20 countries in last 15 years. He is in the book of world records for this. His benchmark project is his 10 years of work in Afghanistan to connect Afghani businesses to global market. He runs several businesses and social enterprises, Global Network, Vibrant Markets, Global Network Institute, Smart Village Program, Mentor on Road, and Cluster Pulse. His tagline is Vande Bharat. Friends, please help me to welcome Dr. Jagat. Doctor, the floor is all yours.
Thank you. Thank you, Arman Bhai. And thank you, Praveen, Rajkumar ji, Colin, Mudit, all the Goa team. So friends, one thing what I liked when Praveen was talking is that, and I was able to relate it to, I'm not very sure whether today I have covered in my presentation, but I will see if I can talk about it. Is 7 forms of capital, about which I am a very strong implementer. There are 7 forms of capital. Most of us think that money is capital. Actually, money is one of the 7 forms of capital, and money is the lower form of capital. One of the higher forms of capital is institutional capital. And this type of a group is called institutional capital. If you bring people together in an institutional framework like this, money becomes secondary. You will grow. You still don't need money to, right? So it's a very good initiative. I congratulate, and this is how all beginnings are made, and it will reach very great heights. So friends, Praveen was also talking about China, that now in the whole world, because of pandemic, China is considered to be the villain. But let me tell you something very interesting, that by April, the pandemic looked like, it's going to last for a year at least, last year. And within 2 months, Chinese, they developed a whole range of 200 products which are called work from home products, including home furnishings. And they pushed into the American and European markets where everybody was working from home. This is what I call capital. And people just accepted because nobody else was giving it. Work from home products, work from home furnishings, work from home curtains, because people were working from home and they needed a different kind of an environment than home, at least in the place where they were working. And they just captured into that domain. And so this is what I'm telling, that adversity is actually how you look at it. They convert it into an opportunity, right? So anyway, so let me ask you this question. In the chat, you can quickly reply. How many of you are manufacturers? Just write me if you are one. How many of you are manufacturers? Quickly. Okay. Okay, I stop here now. How many of you are into trading? Trading, you can write me. Trading activity. Okay. And how many of you are into services sector? Some kind of service you give. Okay. How many of you are already exporting or have exported in the past? So far 6. Very good. I'll wait 30 seconds more. Any more? Very nice. Very good. How many of, okay, 7. How many of you have a Facebook ID? A Facebook ID. Yeah, right. So everybody. So how many of you have a LinkedIn ID? Or better, if someone doesn't have, you write I don't have. That's all, because I'm sure all have. But still, this is an important question for me. If you don't have, you just write I don't have LinkedIn ID. How many of you have got a YouTube video of yours? Okay. How many of you have a, okay. Okay. How many of you have got a Twitter ID? Okay. And Instagram? Mhm. How many of you are on Clubhouse? Okay, Clubhouse. Okay, that's the latest social media institutional capital online. It's an institutional capital online. Very amazing thing. How many of you buy things? How many of you buy things online? Okay, now my last question. How many of you sell things online? All these questions were for this purpose only. How many of you sell online? Okay, good. Okay, so many of us, almost every one of us buy online, we don't sell online. The meaning, I mean, many of us don't sell online. And here we are a group of 40 people, but across the country, it is the same story, right? So the meaning of that is that we trust the products made by others and we buy. We do not trust our own product, so we don't sell online, because there is a chance that somebody will return it. How many times have you returned anything which has come to you? Very less. And only that time when the promise which was made in online is not fulfilled. So in online, the important thing is not the online presence. The important thing is the quality of the product. It's the quality of the product. If your quality of the product is that whether online or offline, you will do well. That is the primary factor. Offline and online are just tools of market entry or a distribution model which keeps changing time to time, right? So that's good. Can you put up the PPT now?
Yes, sir.
Maybe Mudit, you have to remove my this thing or what? Because I can't see. Have you uploaded, Arushi?
I think it's not yet started.
Sharing screen.
Hello.
I do not have the access to share the screen.
Can't hear, your voice is breaking.
Arushiji, you can share the screen. So I think she got dropped.
Okay, she may be joining back. So in the meanwhile, let me keep it ready. You see, everyone almost knows what we do, so I will not talk about this. But this is important because we have worked in all over the world, and there is no space in this map. Otherwise, I would have added more countries. Okay, so why I'm telling is anybody in any country, you have any challenge with information or people networks, you can contact us. So today I'm going to start with something different. Many of you have attended my past programs, but I want to talk about something different. This is a new approach I have worked upon, and particularly last entire year of lockdown, I experimented this myself. And we did amazing business with this model. Amazing business. Can't even explain. I mean, last 10 years, we may not have done so much business. That much business we did, sitting from home. So this is called key DW approach, and this is directly connected to export, or this is directly connected to business growth or domestic market or anything. The first is that we have to understand that we have all now entered into a knowledge economy. Okay, and what is that knowledge economy? That knowledge economy is simply this example which I gave to you about China immediately jumping into a opportunity and creating a whole range of home furnishings for work from home model, right? So to understand that what is situation is happening and how to implement, how to convert that into a business quickly is called knowledge economy, right? So, and also doesn't matter you are manufacturing, trading or services, whatever you are doing, if you apply knowledge to it, your business will grow. Just because you are manufacturing, your business will not grow. Just because you are trading, it will not grow. Not just the product or the service. When you attach knowledge to it, it will grow. And I'll give you many examples of that. The second is eco-friendly economy. So, everybody in the world always used to talk about eco-friendly, but because of pandemic, it got a huge boost. And I'll give you a quick example in Canada. My daughter is living there, and she was telling me that in the store where she goes to buy groceries, she saw a stand where your dairy-based butter was available. And she said month upon month, particularly last 1 year, there was another very small section where plant-based butter was available, plant-based butter. And this is like a vegan movement, right? So she said that plant-based butter section has become 10 times now. Naturally, people must be buying, otherwise why any store owner will make it large? Second question in eco-friendly product comes is that, no, because eco-friendly products are more costly, the market size is small. So she was telling me that the dairy-based butter, I don't know how much weight, but is costing around 1.2 Canadian dollar for that particular weight. And she said for the same weight, plant-based butter is $2.8, more than double the price. And she says it sells more. This is a real life example of a week back. I can go on giving 100 examples. By what I'm saying, we have entered an eco-friendly economy. Whatever you are doing, keep doing. Keep doing, continue, because that is your revenue source. But start one new eco-friendly business, whatever it can be, howsoever small it can be. Start and give 1 to 2 hours a day. 1 to 2 hours a day. Give it 1,000 days to grow. 1,000 days. It will be next 20-year business. And you will see it will grow better and faster than your current business. And continue doing your current business, whatever businesses you are doing. This is called eco-friendly economy. Youth-driven economy. So the whole world, but let's talk of India. India, 65% population below 35 years of age, 50% below 25 years of age. They are buying. They are buying how? Online. It's a youth-driven economy. What do you think Walmart, they have some brain or they are brainless people? They must be having some brain. That they invested 1,40,000 crore rupees, $22 billion in Flipkart to buy it out. 1,40,000 crore is $22 billion. They bought Flipkart, which doesn't even have one dukan. It doesn't even have a shop. There must be some. So why what is it by investing so much? Because youth-driven economy. Youth is the market segment which they know is going to, and that is why Amazon also and Jio now, all these giants have come into this business. They have a lot of strategy think tank. They have a lot of people who think about where next 20 years is going to go. So youth should be the focus of your business, and youth should be running your business also. You should not be running your business. You should be growing your business. Don't run your business. Most of us are running our business. That is not our job. Okay, next. Oh, sorry. I have got used to next. Digital economy. We have entered into a digital economy, and that is why I asked you all these questions of FB, Facebook, and LinkedIn. And we are all buying digital. Just do one thing. And today evening at 9 o'clock, when I'm doing a program with South Gujarat Chamber, I'm going to give this very interesting model of how to calculate that what percentage of your business is digitalized. There are 4 functions of business primarily: production, marketing, finance, and HR. Okay, and if you are into trading, then instead of production, it is procurement, right? So procurement and production is same. If you are trading, procurement; if you are manufacturing, production. Take a piece of paper and write down how much percentage of all your production activity is digitalized, and marketing and finance and HR. And wherever you see what is the percentage and how much gap, how you percentage it. Okay, there are 15 activities I do in marketing. How many of that is digitalized? And you will know 40% is. Then find out what is the other 60% which can be digitalized. Let me challenge you, not suggest you, challenge you. In marketing, in finance and HR and admin, there is 0% activity which cannot be digitalized. 0%. In production, yes, I agree. In production also, I will say 50% can be digitalized. So now that you have to do that exercise, right? And work from home or work from anywhere economy. Those who can integrate, work from anywhere, you yourself also and your team also. When lockdown started earlier, I used to have an office in Ahmedabad, right, which was 100 years back. Okay, so now it looks like 100 years back I had an office in Ahmedabad because I have never gone to office, and in last 1 year it is locked. We used to have an office in Ahmedabad. All my team staff members would be from Ahmedabad. Every day we will, like idiots, we will go to our office and used to think that we are smart. And work from there and come back every day in traffic and waste 2 hours Suddenly we were not able to go to office. We hired people from all over India. In the lockdown, we have hired 31, 32 people in our company. And maximum age of employee in our company is 25. I am 21, so don't think I am 25. Okay, so they are all young people. Okay, and from Jamshedpur and I mean Udaipur and Jaipur, and Hyderabad and Mumbai and Thane and Pune and Chennai, and I mean you name it. And we hired online internshala, and they are working from their home. Family is also very happy. In this difficult time, they are working and working from home in front of their eyes, and they are wonderful work. They are doing amazing output, exceptionally amazing. We have got a lot of clients for whom we are working, and we have allocated one of these people to each of the client, sometimes two. And that clients' businesses are growing like anything. I mean, some of them we are beginning, some of them are in middle stage, some are very advanced stage. There are people we started working in June, July, and they have got one single order. This girl, 21-year-old girl, got for $300,000 for a textile product. So the methodology. So this is, if you are able to bring these components into your business, forget export. Of course, export will grow, but domestic market will also grow. This formula is not just for export. Today we are talking of export, but of course partly for export. So I have put in here. Whatever component of this you can implement in your business will grow, right? So this is how I define marketing. This is how marketing is defined in Harvard Business School. So influencing the mental behavior of another person to make a decision to buy. And this has been my formula. Those of you who have attended our programs, you would know. People do business with people first, company second, product third, price fourth. In same way, you should strengthen your business. When I say people do business with people first, the meaning is that knowledge, your knowledge about product, about sector, about country, about process, about innovations, about changes should be when you meet any client, you should be able to first 15 minutes tell your client how to grow client's business. Forget your business. Can you do that? You will be able to do that if you have the knowledge of your business. Whatever you are supplying to your client, you forget that. How your client can grow their business. That knowledge, if you can pass, they will give you 35% for that, because they will say, I will not only get a product from this person, I'll get knowledge also. Knowledge grows business for them also. They see you as a partner beyond product. Partner beyond product. Keep this in mind. 25% is company. What type of organization? ISO certified. You have people in your company who will respond, and there is a hierarchy. You are not alone. You have got standards which you follow. The certifications. 60% is on this, and product is 20%. That is why top 10 exporters of India, I think, I'm not sure, top 10 I know for sure. I'm sure out of top 100 exporters of India, I'm sure 90% are merchant exporters. 90%. Forget top 100. If you see last year's total export of India, when I say last year, I'm talking of 2019, not 2020. I don't have analysis of that. 2019 export, 65% of export of India was done by trading companies, by merchant exporters. So what is the meaning? They don't make product. They buy product from someone. Last is price 20%. So a lot of people tell, no, it is very competitive market export. You have to be very low price. Then how merchant exporters are exporting after buying from a manufacturer? They should not be able to export. If the merchant exporter is buying at $1, they must be exporting at 110 at least. Why a manufacturer cannot export at 105? And even at $1 say that it is price competitive market? Because the first two is missing. Why missing? Because there is no time. Why no time? Because we are running the business. Because we are not growing the business. Because we are running the business. We are in operation. So we have no time to gain knowledge. And we have no time to build the structures within the company which will take us to the next level. That is the problem. So time management is integrated into this approach. This is the decision-making process of any buyer in the world. See, this is what I talk about. Most of us are doing sales, and most of us are concerned with sales. One moment. Yeah. Okay. So what is marketing and sales? So marketing is not a miracle worker. Very interesting. I'll come in the end. Marketing does not cure less than wonderful home furnishing product design. I have written home furnishing because just last week I did this presentation to a Karur handloom group. So what I'm trying to say, if your product or service doesn't have a good quality, then marketing is not going to work. So the first parameter is good quality. Marketing is not an instant sales generator. We are not able to differentiate marketing and sales. Most of us are doing sales. Very few of us are doing marketing. So sales will suffer. Marketing return on investment is not only revenue generation. Marketing is different. It takes time. Marketing lead should not be confused with sales lead. Marketing roles are not to be mistaken for sales roles. In most of our companies, in small medium enterprise, we do not have two departments. We do not have marketing and sales. We have mostly sales only. Very few have these two. So naturally, both is merged. So naturally, sales will be only what will be happening. But that's not the professional model of marketing. Marketing is for creating brand engagement. Marketing is for top of the mind awareness. Is relationship builder. See, LinkedIn, that is where I keep saying. And while I was presenting to them in Karur, I was showing them the data of home furnishings. Out in the whole world, 958,000 people, professionals who are in the business of home furnishings are on LinkedIn, and 53,000 from India. That's all. Whereas India is the center of manufacturing of this product. So we are not there, and people are not able to connect to us to build a relationship. LinkedIn is marketing. Marketing is for taking customers from awareness into consideration. First, you have to make them aware. Then we have to convert them. The funnel, there is a funnel of marketing. And marketing is a journey, not a destination. Marketing to people does not mean they are sales ready. And the last line is connected to the earlier one. Marketing transforms prospects into sales ready. So there is a difference between prospects and customer. And if we are able to understand this and implement, then sky is the limit for our business. There is a funnel. I will not talk much about it. See, now we come to pardon me for writing handloom, because this is a presentation I had done a week back. So whatever product, this is what I have always followed, that generating import lead is the first. There are 8 approaches which we have been practicing, and the clients with whom we work, we implement the same thing. And import lead generation through Spanco, the strategic institutional sales, US and UN tenders. Okay, let me ask this question here. So how many of you are registered with US and UN tendering system? Can you write on the chat? It is a free registration. How many of you are registered with US and UN tendering system, or any tendering system anywhere in the world, even in India? With GEMS, maybe with GEMS in India. Government e-marketplace of Government of India. Okay. Okay, the screen is visible? Arman bhai?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you see, this is I will come to Spanco later. See, everybody says that America is a capitalist country. American GDP is $22 trillion. And out of this, 30% is government business. How it is capitalist? and they buy pin to plane, everything. But you have to be registered as a vendor with them, and there is a registration system. And 521 companies, last I know, were registered as vendors to US government. And 14,700 Chinese companies are registered. Now you can calculate, and we say that no, China does more business in America than us. Who has stopped us to become a vendor to US government, which is free? Knowledge has stopped us. We don't know that that is the way to do business. American presence is in 274 locations in the world through their embassies and consuls and military presence and economic development. Everyone they buy through tender in those places, even within US government. All purchases are a global tender because everything which we are today gathered here, they don't make in America. Everything they import. America's import is more than export, right? So if you want to do exports, this is one of the ways. Then United Nations tender, same way. United Nations also buys every. United Nations is active in 160 countries. They also buy services. I am a supplier. I am a supplier for 18 years to US and UN for my international trade services. They are our clients. And any product also, right? So that's another way. And if you want to, let me come to this aspect first. So if you want to do business, this is the way. So this is a sam.gov/sam link. This PPT I will be sending to Arman, and Arman, Mudit, you can circulate to everyone who has attended. So this is US Department of Commerce. Just click this and you will find a very, very helpful guide of next steps. Go on doing what they are telling you to do on the screen. And you will see that you are able to register. And then for your product, you will start getting inquiries. And in the same way, there is United Nations, UNGM, United Nations Global Marketplace. You go there and you will be able to register yourself. And you will be able to start getting inquiries. This is the way to export. Because once you register here, whatever in business they have, it is export only. And what a beauty that in export, a lot of people ask me, is my payment safe with an importer? Now, if your payment is not safe with United Nations and US government, then it is not safe anywhere. I mean, it is the safest way to export, right? So payment security aspect is also resolved here. Okay, so now if we come to the SPENCO, let me do that in the end, right? So this is the SPENCO model. I will demonstrate it in the end. But suspect, so there are this is one American approach of doing business. Okay, so suspect is which country can be buyer of your product. Prospect, which importer in that country is a buyer of your product. And you shortlist 5 countries. This is one big mistake new exporters make, is that they say I can export anywhere in the world. That's a wrong approach. Just shortlist 5 countries in a scientific way. We'll do a quick demo in the end, and then identify 10 companies in each country and then approach them, make a contact with them. And see, this is now interesting video. Why I asked you about video? Each one of you should make, each one of you should make 3 videos, 2 minutes each. One video about you as a person. I told you, people do business with people first, company second, product third. You as a person, 2 minutes. Can you speak 2 minutes about yourself in such a way that when a prospective buyer listens to your video, they make a judgment of what type of person you are? Make a 2-minute video. Upload it into the YouTube. Add it as your signature in the email. And also send in marketing proposals. Second video, 2 minutes about your company. What is your organization? You yourself can also speak. 2 minutes about your company. What is your organization? And 2 minutes, third video, 3 different videos. Third video, 2 minutes about your product or service. You write any kind of email. It is called static. It is one-way email. Video is two-way. There is a sound and there is a body language and there is a visual. It is more impactful. What you can speak in 2 minutes in a video, you cannot do in any number of emails you can write. It is more impactful because it is two-way communication. Video. So make these 3 videos and upload into your website. That is called approach. That is called marketing. Push and pull. People will themselves see. When you promote, people will see. YouTube also does promotion. YouTube has its own artificial intelligence, its own algorithm. It sees the quality of video and what is your objective, and it also promotes automatically. And you can do paid promotion also. And approach to people. I always say man, he or she, a person, he or she who has money, authority, and need. Approach them through LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is a very, very powerful tool. There is a very, very interesting tool of Sales Navigator in LinkedIn, through which you can generate very focused importer leads or business leads. Then negotiate, close, and order. The beauty is that everything in Spanco, which is in front of you, is actually a science, except close. Close is an art. So we will do this demo in there. See, this is the summary. Shortlist 5 countries, 10 importers in each country, 50 importers now listing. It is called prospect base. There is a philosophy in US called spend, worry, and earn. See, this philosophy we are missing in India. Spend, worry, and earn. Any R&D you see, research and development, spend, worry, and earn. It is not because our brain is weak in India that we don't have technology development. That we are technology followers. The reason is that we do not have spend, worry, and earn psychology. Because for technology development, you have R&D, you have to have that kind of psychology. Same way is market research. I call it backward linkage, R&D, forward linkage, market research. For market research also, you need to have spend, worry, and earn psychology. Sometimes the result of a market research is, this market is not good for us. Good result. You will not waste your time anymore. But still spend, worry, and earn will be involved. So until and unless we come in this cycle, we will always be a technology follower, and we will always, I was telling this to the home furnishing guys in Karur, all of them, they get designs from Europe and USA and they match it. The design itself is the 50% of the profit margin, which the Europeans and Americans are taking. Why we can't do design development? Why we cannot go to a design school, hire youngsters, do a competition with them, tell them we'll give you 10,000 rupees prize, top 3 design selection, 5,000 designs you will get from youngsters. Why youngsters? Because that is the future, that's the market. How they think is the design. It doesn't require money, right? So then make 50 phone calls. See, now 50 people you got, not introductory email. This is a very interesting concept you must understand. Email is not a means of introduction. Email is a means of communication. So phone calls, you have got 50, make 50 phone calls. Again, spend, worry, and earn comes. Many people say, we are still in that old mindset psychology. I have seen people making a call to America and shouting and talking. I say, why? It is very far. Very far meaning? Of course, they are, because there was a time when we used to shout and talk thinking that, voice is not going through. Now technology has changed. We have not changed. And still we are not spending. We say, oh, phone call is costly. No, email is free. Email is a kind of free, but phone call will be cost. Spend, worry, and earn is missing, but nothing is free. Email is also not free. You are paying a broadband charges, right? So we are hesitant still. Make phone calls. And then when you make phone calls, you classify them to be hot, warm, and cold. Hot, someone who will place order in 30 days. Warm, 90 days. Cold, 180 days, or maybe not. And out of 50 phone calls, in my experience of 25 years of using this model, 5 to 10% will be hot, and 15% warm, and 75% cold. Maybe the first 75% itself will be cold. Do you have the perseverance and the patience to continue to call 50? That skill you need to have. But 5 to 10% sitting in this room where you are all sitting right now, the exercise which I will show to you, you can do it from where you are sitting. You can generate 2 leads, 2 hot leads. That is 5% of 50. And 15% of 50 is 4. 6 warm and hot leads. Trick is convert cold to warm, warm to hot, and hot into order. Very scientific approach, the funnel approach. The more number you add, I have said 50, you add 200, your conversion percentage will increase. Practice. And who will do all this? You will do. No. Where is the time? Do you have time? You are running your business. Where is the question of time? Hire young people. Hire the student interns. Hire fresh graduates. They will work from home and do this. What is in this activity which requires anybody to come to an office? What is in this activity? All the research is to be done on internet. Phone call is to be made on phone. What is in this that needs to come to an office? They can do from home from anywhere in the country. When you interview them, you have to see that they are smart and positive attitude people. That's all. That you are an entrepreneur, you should be smart enough to judge people. After end of the month, if they don't turn out to be smart and up to your expectation, it is your failure, not there. First of all, you did not judge right. Secondly, you did not mentor them. Just by hiring, magic is not going to happen. You have to mentor them every day, half an hour. Because you know your business. They don't know your business. You know your business. You have the skill. Train them the skill. And they will do all of this. For us, they are doing. For our clients. So they can do for anybody. Right? See, these are the 3 main important concepts of Spanco. Spend, worry, and earn. Man, he or she who has money, authority, and need. It is said in Spanco, if you identify your man, 50% of the sales is done. Without even approach. Because 50% of the time we are talking to the wrong person. After 2 months, we come to know this is not a decision maker. So now you have to reinvent the wheel and talk the same things to the new person. And hot, warm, and cold. So then this is that European and United Nations tender I spoke about. There is a very interesting warehouse story I want to tell you. So this is a company, Arun and Ashok Agarwal, KLA India Limited, whom I met in 2004 in Rudrapur, which is the rice belt. And they did not have, they were, their father was in the State Bank of India manager, very honest manager. So let me qualify. So, you know, and they said we have a very high reputation here and we can get price on credit. And they wanted to export. And I gave them this model of warehouse that you stock goods and don't take an order, stock it, take a risk, go there and sell. And 3 things will happen. Number 1, next day you will be able to give delivery, not 2 months to wait from India. The quality they will come and see and buy. A lot of quality claims used to come for rice earlier. And third, their payment rotation will become faster. They don't have to open LC. And they did it. At that time, I remember in South Africa, they started. And last year, in 2019, their sales was $70 million, 450 crore rupees. No access to capital, middle class family, 24 and 26-year-old engineers, father working in bank. And they took only this model approach of stocking and selling. And first 10 container, they asked me, what is worst case scenario? I said, you send 10 containers to South Africa, it won't be sold, we have to bring it back. Transport to and fro is our loss. I said, I'm ready to take that risk. I tell everyone, forget 10, do with 1, start with 1 container. I say, forget 1 container, start with $10,000. Stock it in a place through by doing Spanco and understanding which is number 1 market, stock it. And then experiment with the model, let it fail. American concept I like, it is okay to fail, but fail early and fail small. That is the foundation of innovation. Why India is not an innovative society? Is it our brain is weak? No, because we are afraid to fail. From my school, my parents have told me, do whatever you want to do. Never fail in class. So I have been brought up with the mindset never to fail. So when I join business, I am also afraid because I was brought up like that, never to fail. You have to take chances in business. And it works, it works, it doesn't work, it doesn't work. I tell people, you do warehousing, if it doesn't work for you, don't do it ever. No problem, fail. This is the loss you will have, freight, calculate your worst case scenario, that much amount. You can do it, do it. Now today, go and check this website. Now they were the first organic rice exporter, first organic mango exporter, first exporter to America for mango, to Japan. They are selling online also. As time changed, they change. As time changed, they changed. They are in food business. See, they are in government e-marketplace also of Government of India. They sell online also. They stock also today. They have, I think, more than 16 warehouses today. This is one of our students. E-commerce. I mean, e-commerce, I don't have to talk anything. I can go on giving hundreds of examples I keep giving. You see, forget India, America, the father of e-commerce. 31 crore population, 33 crore credit card users, 28 crore internet connections. For e-commerce, only three things is needed: internet connection, credit card, and either smartphone or computer. All of this is very high in percentage there. In last 10 years before the pandemic, whatever growth took place in e-commerce in America, in 4 months of pandemic, same growth took place. I'm not talking of India. I'm talking of the number one e-commerce market of the world. Were we part of that? No, we were not part of that. Who was part of that? Chinese were part of that. So it is about knowledge. We are still debating whether e-commerce is good or not. We are still debating e-commerce will work or not. We are still, our lot of Kirana store people are on the streets saying that close e-commerce. And all I know those Kirana store association leaders. I know personally. All their children are buying things online. I called one guy. I said, please tell your children to stop first. Why you are telling the country to stop? So we are on a wrong direction. We are still debating. I still remember when railway was converting the ticket into computerized ticket, for 15 days there was railway strike, saying that railway employees will lose the job. So this railway is being run for railway employees or for consumers? And forget losing the job. Now, how easy it is to get a ticket. Earlier, we used to get that cardboard ticket. And how easy it is to get the ticket now. And no one single railway employee has lost the job. On the contrary, I think more than 1 lakh new people have been hired. There is only shifting of job. There is never replacement of job. I mean, there is no outgoing of job. It is only shifting of job profile. Same people who used to give that gatta ticket, cardboard ticket, are now giving computer ticket. If you go into the window and buy or online. So we are still not caught on to the e-commerce the way we should have, right? Anyway, that is a means of export. And B2B meeting, whenever now time comes when we can travel, agent appointment is a very interesting model. Joint venture, I tell those companies I always tell the companies who are already exporting, whoever is your number one importer in terms of value, go and give them an offer. Tell them, look, you are buying from me and selling. You are making money in sales. Why don't you invest in my company and make money in production also? The idea is not to get money. The idea is for whole life, he is your customer because he owns your company now. Okay, 10%, 20%. In 20%, they can't have controlling stake. You still are in control, but whole life we will not leave you. Whole life is your customer. It's a strategy. That is what I call joint venture with overseas companies. Not to get money, but to make them your lifetime customer and grow your business. Because capital is also a challenge for small, medium enterprise. Here you get interest-free capital. And on top of it, you get a loyal customer for long term. And participating in virtual expo, last point. Between June to December last year, I think May to December, 980 virtual expo took place in the world. And 770 were organized by China. Where are we? So we are IT producer and IT exporter. We are not IT user. To go and visit also was free. But we didn't even, many of us didn't even visit. And we kept complaining exhibition is not happening, so I can't sell. But online is happening, but we don't know. That's why I said knowledge economy. It's a knowledge economy. It's a digital economy. Virtual expo is an example of that, knowledge economy. I told you. Eco-friendly, virtual, eco-friendly. Virtual is eco-friendly, no? No physical expo. No so much of plastic banners and no so much of wastage. Virtual expo is eco-friendly. Youth-driven economy, virtual expo, IT-driven. Youth is more connected to this model, right? And digital economy, of course, virtual is digital. And work from anywhere economy. Anybody from anywhere can visit your exhibition online. Each and every of these 8 approaches I can link to KEYDW. This is the model of doing business, if you can implement in your business. I'll come to this later. So let me try and do a demo now. I take this out. Oh. How much time we have, Arman bhai? Arman, how much time we have?
Another 10 minutes.
Okay, let me quickly take you. You
Started
can
late,
see.
so yeah.
You can see my screen, right?
Yes.
So see, this is what I always say. This is a HS code based system, and I always start. There is a you can write down. This is trademap.org, trademap.org. You can write down because I want to rush, so I will not be able to write it in the chat, and then we'll take questions quickly. So this is, you have to register here. If you go, it will ask you to register. I am registered, so it is coming. Now let me quickly try to say, I find rice here. I write rice. So it will tell me 1006 is the rice HS code. So every product has got an HS code. The starting of Spanco is HS code. You check trade indicators. So list of importers country wise. So very interesting. In all over the world, Iran is the largest importer of rice. Saudi Arabia, China, US, likewise. In quantity is given. How much they import, units, unit value also, how much growth, all of that, including duty, last column. Now, what is the meaning of this Spanco? Suspect, which country can be buyer of your product? First of all, 5 countries you have to select. These 5 are volume wise. If you see this first, you see value wise, higher to lower. Value wise, higher to lower. So Iran highest. Identify your 5 countries where you want to start. Suspect. Okay. And then I can also find US. If I click US, list of supplying market. US is importing from where? Highest from Thailand. Second from India. They're importing 3 times more from Thailand than India. Second is India, third Pakistan. So now I know that, okay, even if we are second, we are still competitive because we are second. So, okay, rise to America is possible. Whichever 5 countries you shortlist, you try to find this, right? And suppose now I go to, Then I can go to companies. I can go to companies and I can just see all of this is there. There are almost 593 rice companies. And if I check that, I get a whole list of companies, importing companies. See, and this is this data is ITC, International Trade Center in Geneva of United Nations. All the customs in the world, they feed information to this from their customs, and they collect it together and bring it to it. So these are the importers. And suppose now I go to Colombia, I just click, I get some information about the company, right? Or suppose I go to this, see, I got name, Spenco, suspect, which country? Prospect, P, which company? Africian Ginning Company. Approach whom? Mahin Siddiq. Approach whom? Mahin Siddiq. I go to LinkedIn, I write his name, and 1,300 employees in the company. They are doing other things also, but rice also. They are doing other things also, but rice also. Build rice and byproducts, so many things. And 1,300, I know the size of the company. I can find out more by going to their website in the Google. I found them out. Then, so this is one Spenco method. Another is go to Ministry of Commerce, Government of India. And this is again a very interesting approach of Spenco. So commerce.gov.in. Okay, go to this section, latest trade figures. Go to export import data bank. Very interesting. And go to commodity wise all countries. Here you have to write HS code. I will write 1006. Right, and just click into current year. This is Government of India, Ministry of Commerce website, where all customs data is put. What it says, India exported rice, this is in rupees in lakhs, in 10 months. Last year, April, when pandemic started, to January this year, 10 months, 6,152 crore rupees to Saudi Arabia. And Iraq, 3,776 crore. Iran, 3,500 crores. And what is the total? Amazing. 50,000 crores. 50,436 crores. India exported rice in 10 months. In last year, entire year, 45,000. And this we are talking about pandemic year. And we are crying business not growing. If I was in rice business and if I was crying, I did not know how to do business because somebody was doing, and this is from India. This is from India, which means somebody is exporting from India. The power of this statistic, somebody is exporting from India. I am not exporting. It means there is no problem with product. There is no problem with market. There is no problem with price. There is a problem with me. I don't know how to do it. Because all of these are Indian companies exporting. Somebody is doing. I am in this business. I am not doing. For every of your product, you can find out like this, including services. Then third and the last, let me show to you, very powerful. IMEX, this is a friend of mine in Chile, Carlos. So imexdbusiness.com. There is a very interesting, you can go into a download an example which is free, right? And I'll write India. Okay, India. I'll write exports and I'll write 1006. And it will tell me from directly from customs that what was the product, how much quantity, shipping, even bill of lading number, what was the value, Singapore, who imported, who exported, Indian exporter, Patanjali, importer, Murugan Group, Indian exporter. And I can get a lot of data. I got a lot of free data. Okay, this is now, I've been able to identify importer. If I want all the shipment data, all total of rice from India last 1 year, it will cost $100. One HS code, export data of India, $100. And he will give you 5,000, 10,000, 10,000. In one of our Jamshedpur company, they gave us 16,000 data. 16,000 transactions of their product, which is an industrial product, which is a conveyor belt parts. 16,000 times it was exported from India last year. They gave us 16,000 transactions like this, $100. Spend, worry, and earn. Information. This is customer. I pick up the name, I go to importer. Suspect, country, prospect, buyer, approach. I go to LinkedIn, find out that person. Negotiate, close an order. Is this difficult? In half an hour, I showed you this. There's so many more things are there. Exporting is not difficult. Market is not a challenge. Market is not a challenge. Okay, the challenge is whether we are prepared or not. The challenge is whether we are prepared or not. Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Okay, now let me come to the last few. So friends, this is what I wanted to share. You can ask questions, but I will do my duty to my team. We run a program called Export Marketing 174 batch we are doing now. It is being run for 23 years. It is a 4-day program, morning 8 to 10, 6 to 8 online, and 3 months of hand-holding we give after that. And 29, 30, 1st and 2nd May is next batch, 3 months of hand-holding. So here we give 16 hours. What I showed to you is kind of a trailer, but we do one-to-one for each participant. We take only 12 to 14 participants. You can join if you are interested. Now, we have, Arman, this is also for you. You may not know. Government of India has approached us, and I was part of Ministry of Commerce Udyog Manthan program last year. So they have approached us now for all these product segments. We are doing a product vibrant dinners of 2 hours each. So from May to November, gems and jewelry, apparel, only on solar products, 2 hours. How to export solar products. Building material, food product, furniture, toys, medical device, gym equipment, leather footwear, ESDM, electronics, drones, robotics, EV, vehicle, machine tool, textile fabrics, auto components, ceramic tiles, sporting goods, pharmaceutical and aluminium. 21 series by our young team of 2 people each. And then for each of these, government has told us to do a 4-day program for each of these. So see, this is gems and jewelry, our 4th May. These are the 2 student interns who were hired by us in lockdown. I have not met them. We interviewed them online. They have been working and they will present. I will only be there with my face. They are doing database development. They are doing PowerPoint presentation. They are doing research. They are going to present, and you will see how they present. When, if you are attending, if this is your product. We did 125 such vibrant dinners last year in lockdown. 8,200 companies paid and attended. And all were organized and delivered by these young people. What I am telling you to do, I am already doing. I am not telling you to do something which I have not done. I never say that. Whenever I say something with conviction, I am already doing it. Only that I tell you to do. And all examples which I give in our program are all our known example. I never give an example who is not known to us or with whom we are not involved. Our apparel, Priyanka and Sara are going to do apparel and garments. And these are global programs. We will have global participation, not just Indian. These programs are promoted globally. We are having global partners. Solar products, Urvashi and Alifia. This is the power of our young people. Do we know how to harness? It is a service to the nation that young people will get ready, and it will grow our business also. How there can be no better win-to-win model than this. This is a service batch we are doing in June. We already did to any of the services. I challenge. After doing 2 batches, tell me a service. I challenge. No service is there which cannot be exported. I again challenge. There is no product which cannot be exported. There is a company, I always give example of that, goat dung. They are exporting goat dung. And there is another company which is exporting rotten potatoes. If your product is better than these two, then you have a market. See, last year, lockdown, April to March, we did 125 vibrant dinars. This is our April calendar. We converted. We saw in April, I knew, I used to tell, my YouTube videos are there, that this pandemic will last for a year, minimum. And people used to laugh at me. I said, good, this laugh is on you, not on me. Right? Today, I sent them those videos. We converted our business model quickly in April. See, in April, we converted. Did you? Each one of your business, you can do vibrant dinar. You need not be in a training business to do vibrant dinar. Why call it vibrant dinar? Why entries trademark? Because we do vibrant cities. Vibrant Gujarat, we were involved in first one, then vibrant Tamil Nadu, vibrant, and we trademark. Nobody in the world can do vibrant dinar. See, innovation. What is innovation? What is innovation? This is innovation. Whole world was doing vibrant dinar. 8, 10 vibrant dinars invitation used to come every day. People were tired of webinar. People were tired of webinar. We said, if we do webinar, people will confuse. We got a trademark of vibrant dinar. And we do vibrant dinar. Nobody in the world can do vibrant dinar. Everybody in the world knows vibrant dinar means global network. They do good. They attend. There are thousands, lakhs of companies like me in the world. How we are different? We created an innovation. I say innovation is do one thing better than anyone else. Find out for yourself. You are in textile business. I was telling people, you register trademark textile dinar. You innovate for your business, whatever business you are in. You find out a word, trademark it, and start doing. The people who will attend your program are your customers, prospective customers. Give them knowledge, not about your product. Not about your product, but about how to grow their business. In the beginning, that's what I said, we are in knowledge economy. Once they are impressed with your knowledge, they will buy your product. It is default. It is default. Our May calendar, that's our contact details. So that's it, Arman bhai. It's a tough subject to explain in 1 hour because it's so deep.
Yeah, thank you very much. Actually, we have already shut up our time because we started late also. We will take 2-3 questions, short ones. If anybody has any questions, please kindly raise your hand and we'll just try to take up 1 or 2 questions. Any
Yeah, thank you, Muthu.
question for Dr. Jagat Shah?
Satish ji is there, Mr. Satish Rajmani.
Yeah, Mr. Satish, please go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Dr. Jagat. It was an excellent session. A lot of insights. Basically, what I liked about this, about the videos, I'm there on LinkedIn as a premium member of LinkedIn, but I don't use LinkedIn so effectively. But basically, I should be using the Sales Navigator.
Yes.
My question is, during the pandemic, success part is about, I work in 2 verticals. One is holidays, which is a BNI category, but other vertical is into international business consulting. During the pandemic, we signed an agreement with one of the Dubai lawyers firm. We are representing them in India. There is 333 immigration is for giving citizenship, second passport. Like sitting in India, you can get a passport of Grenada, you can get a passport of about 15 countries.
Right.
This is what we have done. So I wanted some insights like, okay, we have been talking about exports, but then I wanted some insight, how could I, like, we have just taken it up, we have signed it now as an exclusive agreement. How could we make it more effective in India? Because it's a new subject altogether in India. So like sitting in Goa, anybody in Goa who wants a second citizenship, without he traveling out of Goa, he gets a passport delivery.
I understood your question.
Yeah.
Trademark citizener. Trademark citizener. If you will not, I will do it.
Okay.
Trademark citizener and start doing Your program is about educating people.
Yeah.
Educate people. Draw a calendar.
Mhm.
One day do on Grenada, another day do on Estonia, another day do on US, another day do on Canada, another day do on Australia. Promote, build database, circulate. Cities in art. Nobody, only you will do if you trademark before me.
Thank you.
So what knowledge you have to get into digital. Answer to your question is KEYDW. Just go into those 5 elements, see how you can incorporate into your business and it will grow.
Fine. Thank you.
Do it tomorrow because day after tomorrow it will be gone. Just joking, don't worry.
No, because the investment is very high. Investment is minimum 1 CR for that. So anybody wants a passport.
You know how many people took citizenship of abroad from India last year?
No idea on that. Yeah.
220,000 people. I want only 22 people client.
Mhm.
Is it enough for you, 22 people?
Yes. No, I mean to start is okay.
220,000 people last year took citizenship of abroad from India.
Correct.
Second citizenship. Yeah.
It's coming up now. It's new to India, but then it's
Not
growing
new,
now. So it's a
years.
big
That lady
opportunity.
was also NRI. Yeah,
Next
next.
Question check. Can you go ahead with your question, please?
Yes, thank you, sir. Hi, Jagat sir. It's
Now,
always
Moin.
good to it's always good to listen to your webinar, sir. So I had one question. I have not been exporting garments, though we are very well known in Goa, but I have never opened up to that market. Now that there are a lot of exporters out there, competition out there, how can I now enter the market wherein there are a lot of exporters? How do I become a
The
player?
eight steps which I explained, 8 steps, Penko. That's how.
Okay.
See, Spenco, I explained to you, right? Which country
Yes.
you want to do, identify.
Yeah.
Find out the companies in that, make a good website, have a good LinkedIn profile, start communicating with them, do video meetings like this. No need to go. Nobody will allow you to go. I mean, nobody is allowing anybody to come to any country. Do video meetings like this and send samples, show them samples. I did a program for textiles that how to show textile samples, show on the screen and say which color and design you like. For the fabric feel, I will courier to you. You like this color and design? Yeah, okay. See. You don't like? Okay, yeah. Okay, 6 you have selected, I am couriering to you, see the feel. Business is done. Give the price.
Understood.
$300,000 single order booked by a 21-year-old girl for one of our clients, like this.
Okay.
Sairaj,
Thank you.
Thank you, Jagat bhai. This was a great initiative, and you've been enlightened as well. So one question that I have is: so we are into something very unique, which is a food product. We do products from jackfruit. So we do vegan meat, and veganism is a big thing abroad, and it's booming right now.
Correct.
We are in our 5th month right now. It's just been 4 months of us starting, and we've been approached by a lot of importers from abroad, and a lot of people are on LinkedIn. They get connected and they say they want to take our product there. We've also sent a few samples to different people, but I'm not too happy with the way this is progressing, because you don't know the credibility of the people who are getting in touch with you and whether it's the right way to go ahead. I'm not too sure. So I don't know what's the best solution to this. I've now that I know about Spanko, and I'll look into.
So there is a very scientific way of checking credibility of buyers. So one is a government way, where there is a organization called ECGC, Export Credit Guarantee Corporation, who for 500 rupees or something will give you a credibility report of a buyer, right? In terms of how much, as per ECGC, how much value you can export to them, which is safe. Second organization is a private company called Dun & Bradstreet, DNB, who will charge you 8 or 10,000 rupees, but they will give you 5 to 6 page detailed report on a customer. So when you are coming very close to closing an order where price, everything is finalized, now you want to check credibility of the buyer. That time you go to either of the two. If you want faster and more detailed report, then you spend, worry and earn. So you pay to DNB and get it. If you have some time and you are easy, then you go to ECGC. So to check credibility of buyer, there are methods. And for that is what we teach in this 4-day program. And actually ECGC officer, the government officer comes and teaches. The Dun & Bradstreet officer comes and teaches in our program that this is our service, this is how we do. So people come to know about it and then they start utilizing it.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Any last question, anybody?
Arman, may I share my experience, please?
Yeah, please.
So this is not an export experience, but I just want to highlight the 4-day program that Dr. Jagat Shah is talking about. I was such a student along with Praveen Kakode and some of the others who are here in December 2019. And it was those 4 days that really gave me the confidence to move forward. I'm not a manufacturer myself. We are supplying hospitality linen. And these questions that Sairaj asked as well, or Mohin, you had the concern as well. These are questions that we work through in those 4-day programs, and it gives you a lot of in-depth knowledge as well as confidence. So I would personally recommend, that more people should do this program. In fact, attending today's 1-day session was a good refresher on some of the things that we talked through. And besides Dr. Jagat Shah, there are a lot of speakers from different organizations who also contribute. So it's a huge learning experience. Thank you, Dr. Jagat Shah.
In fact, Colleen, I'm very proud of Colleen. She was the one who executed one shipment, and with so many challenges. It was almost like every second day, it was almost like this deal is not going to happen. And finally, it happened so very well, and it was closed. It is an experience. I have been telling her to, between her, me, Arman and Praveen, we are going to make a film on her story, really. And in my next, on 29th, I'm requesting her to speak for 1 hour about her story to our students. And now our students come from all over. Last batch, we had students from US, Canada, Australia, because now it's a digital program. Now it's no more limited to India. We have students now from all over the world, and people get a network also, because in fact, in our last batch, there is a student from Canada who is now become a partner with a student in India. He has become importer and this has become exporter. He was looking for a business and he was also looking for a company, and they started doing business with each other. So it's a very good networking. And your Goa export group is something which, is I call your institutional capital. This is what is needed. Once you are able to put a structure and organize it, a lot of things will happen. Yeah. Anyone else? I have put my email on chat. Anyone wants to write, you can write.
Okay, thank you very much all. We had a wonderful session as usual by Dr. Jagat Shah, and every time you hear from him, it keeps us motivated. And thank you, sir, for spending time with us and really making us understand. I'm sure Goa will come up with many new exporter faces. One of what we talked about and heard about what Colin has been able to. Colin, so proud about you. And I would really like to thank Rajkumar Kamath ji as well as Praveen Kakode to raise up this platform and to really gear up and help each another. This is what we are aiming for this particular group. And before we would like to end, I would also like to thank Mudit Agarwal for helping us, for coordinating this Zoom meeting, and definitely the Global Network team, Marushi and Khyati and others who have really supported with this particular presentation. But before we end the day, I would have a very small, quick poll, because we all are hardly know each other. It is just only through this WhatsApp group which we have been. So what exactly the next round would you all like to? What we have been planning to do is like in every fortnight to have one particular session like this. So which will help us to understand. So we request you all to please select an option, whichever you would like, so we can manage to have some other speakers also along with Jagat Shah, who will be handholding us forever with this. and we can manage some other different types of sessions, online sessions. Okay, so many of you have commented. I would just like to end the poll now. It is more than 52% who have been talked about the research and technique, and similarly about the registration process. Definitely, we will work upon it and we'll get back to you. Please stay tuned on the WhatsApp group. As well as I would also request you, because we are almost 100 in the group and 45 were able to attend today. So whatever your comments or whatever knowledge you have been able to gain through today, you can please keep your feedback in the group so understand, and that will help others to motivate also. I'm really once again thankful to Dr. Jagat Shah and for being with us and giving such an insightful knowledge today. Thank you.
Arman bhai.
Yeah, sorry. This is, I would also like to request, whatever you all have seen me today, it is just what I have learned through this particular webinar of Dr. Jagat Shah, and we are fortunate that actually today he is going to do that for Surat Chamber of Commerce at 9 p.m. 1.5 hours from now, where we all say that we don't have time, but it is what the most entrepreneurs say so. But how we should manage our time, it's in 1 hour Zoom session. If anybody is interested, I will, you can please log into the Zoom. Mudit, can you scroll up the slide, please, the registration link? So
Yeah.
anybody is interested to know this, I'm sure once you go through this particular workshop of his, your whole mentality on what time and delegation for your business is all about, you will learn through this. It's an amazing program. Mudit, can you just scroll up the slide to see the registration link?
Yeah, it's visible. I've just posted the same in the chat.
Okay,
as well.
so that link is there. So please, anybody who is interested, they can join at 9 p.m., 90 minutes from now onwards. Okay. Yes, Dr.
Arman bhai, thank you.
Thank you very much all. Yeah, thank you.